The Utah Mammoth is sorta proud to present Nashcast.
What the is a Nashcast?
Nashcast, the only hockey show on the planet. Hosted by a human speed bag, fourth line wannabe, healthy scratch, schnozzy moto, Tyson Nash.
Who the hell is Tyson Nash?
Never heard of him.
And the baritone with a brain, the velvet hammer, Mr. Silky, Tono Suave, the radio voice of your Utah Mammoth,
Come blue!
Mike Folta.
Oh, Captain, my Captain!
Nashcast begins now.
Ready for takeoff.
Here's Tyler Ganoush and Mickey Foghorn. Wait, what? Oh, here's Tyson Nash and Mike Folta.
Feeling good, folks. I don't know about you, but I'm back here in Arizona. I'm missing all the fun. You guys are right in the heart of training camp. I think you did your first exhibition game last night against the Avs. How are the pipes first and foremost? Because I know, buddy, no one better in the league.
Nash, I'm glad you're feeling good. You're always feeling good. I would love to know how you're feeling after our travel day from hell yesterday. We're recording this on Monday. We had our first two preseason games yesterday against the Avalanche. Me and Nick Olczyk were doing both of them on the broadcast on the radio side, and we're stuck on the tarmac in Utah. We can't get off the ground for like 2 or 3 hours. I mean, we're way late. They have to push the games back, and we eventually get there. It was a hilarious sight. Scott Perunovich and Curtis Douglas, couple of the vets, got dressed in 10 minutes and were out there taking warm-ups. Everybody else was still in the room while the entire Avalanche team is out taking warm-ups. So we have 2 guys out there while there's 20 guys for the Avs that are like getting ready to go. And meanwhile, the Utah guys just parachuted in, and then me and Nick basically took planes, trains, and automobiles to get from Magnus Arena at University of Denver all the way to downtown, which isn't that far, but it was an interesting experiment. We were traveling during the first period of the second game. We come in hot in the second, and then we get in at 2 a.m. back to Salt Lake City. So that's why I got my Tyson hair going. If you're watching on YouTube, you can see it. If you're listening on a podcast, it's just a bird's nest. I got my wrinkly pajama t-shirt basically here. I just rolled out of bed. But I couldn't be happier to be with you, Tyson, talking some hockey. We are back. Preseason action has started. We're recording this on Monday, so we'll be in Anaheim tonight, and we're rolling, baby. We're rolling.
Right into the fire, folks. My goodness. I mean, that is plains. That's like Chevy Chase vacation, right? I mean, thank God you and Nick are young bucks, young whippersnappers. I wouldn't bounce back as quick as you guys. I know Matt McConnell, my goodness, he'd be in bed for a month after a start to the season like that. But what are your thoughts? How are the boys looking? I cannot wait. I'm chomping at the bit. Like I said, I'm up here in Arizona still working on the beef jerky suit, the tan, because game one is almost upon us. But how are the young bucks looking out there?
Yeah, it's hard to tell. So we had those 2 scrimmages or two preseason games, and one thing that I felt was clear was that the Avs just in their roster had a few more older guys who are more established, maybe in the AHL or pro hockey somewhere, whereas Utah had some really young guys, the T. Jaginlas, the Cole Baudouins, the Dmitry Simashevs, Daniil Boots, guys like that who are just starting to get their chops over here in North America or in the North American pro game. And I think that showed through. Also, remember, like I said, Utah was basically rolled in and threw the gear on in 2 minutes and got on the ice for that first scrimmage. So the combined score 8-3 in favor of the Avalanche. Like, I don't take really much away from that at all. I thought T. Jaginla looked really good. Tyson had some great moments of skill, almost scored a couple times. Daniil Boot had an unbelievable goal, dangled a guy on the half wall and then sniped one from the slot. So a lot of things to be excited about. But I'm curious, Nasher, have you ever like parachuted in like that where you're coming off the bus and you got to get ready immediately to play in a pro setting?
Oh yeah, I mean, you think of all the trips, right? I mean, I spent 5 years in the American Hockey League. I spent time in the East Coast League, so you know those leagues. You know how that functions. Broken down buses, snow. Back in junior, delays in that regard. So it's all part of it, right? I mean, it really is. The NHL level, they try to monitor that certainly a lot differently. It's a lot higher class of a league, but again, it's all part of it. And has anyone stood out to you? Because here's my biggest beef with training camp nowadays, and this is where it's changed. Is the fact that I think a lot of kids, they're scared to make mistakes, right? They're scared to try too hard, right? And then all of a sudden it's like boom, you're back on the minors, you're back in junior hockey, and you've had that little window of opportunity to open someone's eyes, and you just haven't. Has anyone, to you in your mind, training camp? I know it was just the first exhibition game last night, but has anyone kind of jumped off the page for you that maybe isn't a high draft pick or maybe a walk on?
Yeah, there's a second round pick from a couple years ago, Artem Duda, defenseman who was in the AHL with Tucson all of last year. Not the biggest guy, but makes a lot of good decisions with the puck. I thought he looked just okay in the preseason game. I thought he's looked really good in training camp, and he's been impressive. The decisions he makes, the reads he makes, and he was taken just a couple of picks after Maverick Lamoureux, who was a first round pick. So this Duda kid is like a high second round pick, and I think he's going to compete in this very competitive defensive depth chart for Utah to try and maybe be a call up at some point this year or the next couple of years. So I've been keeping an eye on him. One guy who popped last night, Nasher, and I know you'll love this, the Sheriff, Lawson Crouse. He fought twice, had an assist, had a couple of really good scoring chances. I think he hit a post last night as well, but Logan Cooley took a big shot in the corner, and Krauser got in there a couple shifts later and made the guy who hit Cooley answer the bell. And then Crouse defended himself and fought later in the game too. So I thought that was kind of a point of interest for Lawson Crouse to show some individual toughness, but also kind of set the tone for the team.
Yeah, and I think that is a message too to the management. That he's going to have a better year. He had an off year last year. We know that. I've seen this kid since he was a young kid in the National Hockey League, and the bigger the stage, the better he typically plays. But he needs a bounce back year. He knows that, and I think that was a message to his teammates. Like, I'm back, boys. The Sheriff is back in town. He disappeared a little bit last year, but he is back. How about the goaltending? I know they put up Colorado put up 8, but typically goaltending is got to be a strong point this year for the hockey club. Who was kicking in net?
We saw a lot of Matt Villalta in the first game. He came up and played just one game with Utah last year, so he's probably the fourth or maybe third goaltender in the depth chart. He actually looked pretty good. He let in 5 goals in that first game, but I thought he made some really good stops, and the first few goals were tipped by him or as a backdoor tap in or something of that nature. So I thought Villalta looked pretty good. And we saw the guy who we're going to have on the show here in just a bit, Vitek Vanecek. He was playing at Ball Arena against the Avalanche. The only goals he gave up, I believe, were a couple odd man rushes or a breakaway here or there. So didn't give up any cheap ones. And he's a steady goaltender that you can count on to come in and be a pro and give you reliable goaltending when Karel Vejmelka needs a little breather.
Yeah, I talked to him earlier. I know, you were off on a mission somewhere, so it was just me solo on that one. But he talked about just, he's a lanky guy. He's not a real thick guy, so he's more of like a platypus, if you will. So this guy's got tentacles everywhere. So it's nice to see these goaltenders get a little confidence, right, going into the season. I know Karel Vejmelka is the man. We know that. There's no question this year. There's no doubts who the number one goaltender is for the Utah Mammoth, but it's nice to see they got some good backups.
Well, talking about Veggie, he earned a big new contract that was signed at the end of this last season, and there's a few guys in the NHL right now, Tyson, that are holding out for bigger extensions or more money. You look at Connor McDavid, does not have an extension signed as we record this here. on Monday. You look at Kirill Kaprizov, who turned down what would have been the biggest contract in NHL history, $16 million, not enough from the Minnesota Wild. Tyson, is it crazy to you guys turning down these numbers? I mean, you think of it from a player union perspective, the higher that these guys make, the more that pushes everybody else. But also, it's a zero-sum game in a salary cap league, and the more money one guy makes, the less that some of his teammates can make.
Yeah, you know what for me is interesting is the fact that, I mean, they're given everything, right? Everything and some. So what is the issue? And for me, I grew up in Edmonton. I love Edmonton. It's the best people on the planet, right? But he has been there a long time. And I think for Connor McDavid, he's probably going, okay, where's the direction of this team going? I mean, what pieces are we going to add? I don't think it's necessarily about the money for Connor McDavid. I mean, this guy's going to be set for 18 lifetimes, right? With the amount of money he's going to make in this game. And rightfully so. He's the best player on the planet. But that tells me that he's got some questions, right? And that maybe he's not 100% happy with where the team is headed. He wants to win. I mean, he's going to make the money. The money's always going to be there, but he wants to win. And the winners in Edmonton, they can be tough in Minnesota, in Edmonton. I'm sure Kaprizov is the exact same way. So that would make me really, really nervous if I'm part of the management, part of the coaching, and certainly a fan in Edmonton, in Minnesota, that those deals have not been set in stone, because that tells me that those players are thinking what it could be greener somewhere on the other side. McTavish is another one. He's a young player, up and coming, young stud, a big piece of the foundation with the Ducks. But I think there's contracts out there that he would certainly want, the Matthew Nyes, the Dylan Gunthers. I think Logan Cooley is in that mix as well. Where are all these contracts going to sit and going to stand with the point production that those players all have, right? I mean, it's really not rocket science when you're an agent and you're looking at all the numbers. It's just comparables, right? If you're doing X, Y, and Z and I'm doing the same, well, that's where the money's got to lie, right? So it's going to be interesting, but I think there's a lot of uncertainty, certainly in Minnesota and Edmonton.
Tyson, for the top guys that you've been around in your career, do you feel like there's pressure on them to make as much money as they possibly can, because that will kind of set the bar for everybody else? You mentioned Logan Cooley and Mason McTavish, who are both eligible for new contracts. McTavish not even skating with the team. Cooley's still under his entry-level contract for this year, but again, eligible for that extension. And it feels like a game of chicken, with the agents waiting to see which domino is going to fall first. With the cap going up and all this stuff, the calculus becomes varied a little bit. But did you feel like those top guys, there was pressure on them when you played, Tyson, to make as much as they can to set a high bar for everybody else?
Yeah, you know what? So I played in both eras, right? I played without a salary cap, and we thought that was going to be the beginning of the end, when we were basically forced. We had a lockout. We rolled back 20% of our salaries to come back and play for that salary cap. Well, the salary cap has been the best thing ultimately that has ever happened to the National Hockey League, splitting revenues 50-50. The league has never been in a healthier spot, and so I had guys like Keith Tkachuk, Doug Weight, Chris Pronger, Al McInnes, superstars, Hall of Famers. And we loved it. The more money they made, the better, right? I mean, because it was unlimited. I mean, there was no cap. So make all the money you want. Now, when you look at some of these players, Tom Brady comes to mind instantly. I mean, this is a guy who's the best quarterback to ever play the game. It's not even close to me, right? But he always took less money because he wanted to leave money on the table for other players and other contracts that needed to get done in order to maybe get another Super Bowl, right? He made more money than he's ever going to make when he was a player and now as a broadcaster, right? So he wasn't worried ever about money, and I don't think superstars should be. And I don't think a guy like Kaprizov or McDavid are worried about money per se. You have to put yourself in I mean, Sidney Crosby's another guy. What's he make? 8.7 million? I mean, his number, right? So, I mean, this guy could have been making 13, 14, 15 million, for the last 5-6 years, but he's, again, leaving money on the table.
Yeah, no doubt. You see that with championship teams time and time again. a lot of those stars maybe a little bit underpaid. You look at that with the Florida Panthers. I know the state tax becomes part of that argument in Florida, but some of those guys making a little bit less than what they could get elsewhere. We can save that state tax conversation for another day, Nasher. We could probably do a whole episode on that. We should get to Vitek Vanecek before our time runs out here. Nasher, how did he do all by his lonesome with you? I mean, I wasn't there to provide any relief, so he didn't pull the eject button on you too soon.
No, he was good. We had some good laughs. I wasn't as prepared as I probably should have been. So I apologize for that. I stuck my both feet and my hands and fists in my mouth at one point during the interview. I'm not sure if my producer, my director, they've cut it out, but I hope it stays because it kind of shows that we are human, right? I mean, we had 5 minutes to do this interview, and he was lights out. We're going to be going to him this year a lot, I think, for interviews and just great sound bites.
Yeah, no doubt. Let's go to Vitek now.
Well, first of all, I want to welcome Vitek Vanecek. I'm not sure I'm even saying that. So maybe you can give me a once over. I can't pronounce your hometown. I can't even pronounce your name. I hope I got that right.
Yeah, you got it right. Like it's every American person saying Vitek Vanecek, but in Czech Republic they saying Vitek Vaněček.
All right. Well, whatever you want. I hope we're saying that name a lot this season. The newest member of the Utah Mammoth, one of the goaltenders, along with Karel Vejmelka. First of all, when did you know you were traded? Did you expect to be traded? And who told you were traded?
You mean to where traded? To
the Mammoth. Or did they pick you up?
I wasn't traded. I signed like a free agent.
Okay, there you go. I guess I should do a little bit more homework, right? I mean, we were just so excited because you never get a chance to talk to goaltenders, right? During the season. I mean, you guys we kind of leave you guys alone.
I know. It's always like that.
So this was last minute. I was like, hey, we gotta interview him. We got a chance. Let's get him on the pod. So here we are. So so welcome. Obviously a free agent signing. This is a big one. So you must be pretty excited.
Yeah, I'm really excited. I mean, that was first time I was in position to free agent. So it's a lot of things going around, you don't know where you're going to sign or what's going to happen, but I am really happy. I get the call from Utah and they want to sign me. So I'm really excited to go there.
So why Utah, I guess, is the obvious question. I'm sure you had a lot of interest. I know you didn't play a ton last year for Florida, winning that Stanley Cup. Congratulations.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
For that. I want to hear all those good stories, what you did with the cup, how hard you partied with that cup. But again, why Utah? Why the Mammoth?
So why, like, I know they have a really good team. And then the most important thing, there's a really young core. And then I really like that. And then over the summer, they did a lot of things, bring a lot of good players. And then I know we can make the playoffs and then make really good run in the playoffs. So that's why I choose Utah.
Well, your journey has been full of ups and downs, lots of adversity, been through a few trades as well. But let's go way back, I guess, to kind of, when you first became a goalie. You started playing hockey. Why goalie? And did you ever play as a forward, as a defenseman, or was it just always, I want to stop pucks?
No, it wasn't like that. So I started skating like when I was 4 years old. I was all the time a player. I think I was like 9 years old, and then they told us in the team, like, we don't have a goalie, like nobody wants to play goalie. And then the coach came to the locker room and then he asked, somebody want to play goalie? And then I said, yes, I want to play goalie. So my parents bring me home and then ask me, do you really want to play goalie? Like,
they didn't want to pay for it.
yeah, we don't want to pay for it. And then like my brother was forward too, so I was hard decision for them, but they said, okay, you know what, you can try it one practice, and then if you're gonna like it, you can stay. If not, we're gonna go back to player. So I try one practice, I like it, and then the coach said, hey, we don't have a goal, you have to stay. So so I stay, and then now I'm goalie.
And now you're in the NHL. So it was a pretty good decision, right? But I mean, it takes a different breed, right? I mean, you say it all the time, you hear it all the time. I know when I grew up, my dad, I wanted to play goalie because I think every kid kind of wants to
Yeah.
play or at least try it, right? Because you put on the fun equipment, glove
Yes.
saves, all that until you get pegged in the head or you take one right in the coconuts, right? And that's what my dad did. I'll never forget. He fired one right at my melon. And I'm like, oh my God, maybe I don't want to be a goalie, but you loved it from day one, eh?
Yeah, I love that. Like you said, you see the pads, and then you see the mask, really nice, and that kind of stuff. So that's why every kid probably want to try it. But like you're saying, when you get older, and then the shots get harder, and you're getting on the head and then nuts, like you're saying, like it's not that fun.
It doesn't tickle, I can tell you that. So, who motivated you? Now you're a goalie, you're 9 years old. Who are you watching? I mean, who are you looking up to? I know for me, even though I wasn't a goalie, I loved watching Grant Fuhr, Andy Moog,
Mhm.
but it wasn't in the cards for me.
In Czech, there was a lot of Dominik Hasek, but everybody knew, like it was different style. And then when I get older, Henrik Lundqvist and then Carey Price, because that style was really good, and then I just love it to watching them.
Well, that's good. I guess so for a goalie, I know for a player, it was a fight. It was a big hit, at least for me when I played in the National Hockey League. But what is it for a goalie that gets you fired up when you're between the pipes?
I mean, every shot when you save, the puck, like it's make you fire up. But if you make some big save, and then the fans gonna start yelling, that's the best thing for the goalies.
So you feel it, right? You feel the crowd, and you better get ready because Utah is a lot different than Florida. Although you saw it in the Stanley Cup Finals, in the playoffs, but the regular season it can get a little bit quiet. Utah, there's no such thing as quiet. So
Yeah.
I hope that gets you excited. And are you excited? I mean, what do you know about Utah and the Mammoth? I know you know the team a little bit.
Yeah, that's really excited. The fans are really loud. That's really important for the goalies, because if the puck is on the other side, the goalie just standing there, so you can hear everything. But like you said, in Florida in the regular season, it's a little bit different. And then in Utah, I don't know too much. I was there just one or twice. I was backup. I think I didn't play there, but I can hear the fans. So they I'm really excited for that.
Do you have a routine? I know a lot of goalies you see when we're getting ready for the broadcast, they're out on the bench, they're doing these eye things and they're visualizing and they're firing balls off the walls and just kind of getting their quick twitch, I guess, going. But do you have a routine before the game?
Yeah, I always have a routine. I don't wanna probably talk about it. I'm gonna keep it
Yeah.
for me. But there is
I like
always
it.
yeah, there is always routine. When I feel like when you're starting, like you nap, and then when you get to the car and start driving to the game, your routine is starting. So I'm sorry, but I'm gonna keep it for me.
Yeah. No, I like it. I can appreciate that. You can tell me to shut up. Um, what was it like? I mean, I know you didn't play a ton last year, but playing behind a guy and with a guy like Bobrovsky, I mean, he's certainly the elite, right? He is the bar, and he seems to set it every year, back to back Stanley Cups. But what is that for you? Backing up behind him, and what did you learn playing with him?
Yeah, I mean, everybody know that he's really good goalie. When I came to Florida, I was so excited because in my career, I never had a older guy, or I had always same age or younger, so I was really excited to go Florida and then see how Bobrovsky working. Came to the locker room, talk to him. He's quiet, but what I really like, he's working really hard on the ice. But the most important, like he working off the ice too, and then he's taking care of his body, so much. And then that's what I love to see it, like he doesn't want to get injured, so he's preparing for that all the time. And then, like I said, like he's such a good goalie, like I can imagine, like I don't know how to explain it.
Yeah, either do I. Watching him, it is it's spectacular. He went through a lot of ups and downs as well throughout his career. But give it to me honest. I mean, I know we have passion, right? We also want to be great teammates, but as a backup goaltender, sometimes, I mean, you're sitting on that bench, and are you kind of hoping like maybe let a couple in? I want a chance. I want to go on a run. I mean, is that a thing for a goaltender? Because I know as a player, it was right. I mean, I wasn't hoping anyone to fail or fall on their face, certainly, but I wanted an opportunity, and when you get that opportunity, you never want to give it up.
Actually, when I get to Florida, and then I mean, in the season, like I was happy I get couple games. I was like 7 games, see the Bobrovsky. But in the playoffs, when I saw him, like he's playing really good, and then he's playing his best. I don't want anything to happen to him or something like that. I want him to play like that, and then. For sure, if something happened, like I was the backup, so I will go to the net. But like I'm not that guy, like to say like hopefully you're gonna get a couple goals and I gonna get in. Uh, Not in the
Now I feel
playoffs,
like
like
a total donkey, right? I'm like I'm
yeah.
always hoping in ways. You're a better man than I, but
Maybe it was
let's.
different in your time.
Yeah, I am old. I know you're looking at my gray
No,
mustache. So.
no, you're not.
Let's go back. I mean, when you were drafted by the Washington Capitals, but you didn't play your first game for the Capitals. You played what 4 or 5 seasons with Hershey. You were down in the East Coast League as well for some time. But what was that first game like when you finally put the jersey on for the Caps? And it had to feel that much sweeter, right? Just because your journey was kind of a long one.
Yeah, that is true. I was first year in East Coast. I didn't speak English. They told me learn American hockey and then learn the language. After that, I was 4 years in the Hershey, and then everybody knows AHL. It's not easy league. Like you're driving long ways in the bus, and then that that
Soggy
kind of
subs and
stuff.
pizza and a beer in the
Yeah,
back.
yeah,
Good stuff.
yeah. That's true. That's true. And then when I took the jersey on me, and then my first game, I think I will never forget. I will never forget that game. I was in Buffalo. I think we won 2-1. So for me, it was a amazing experience. Of course there was some stress, because it's first NHL game. You never know what to expect from the players, but I was amazing.
Who is the first win against, and who was your first save against? Do you remember that as a goalie?
Ooh, I was versus Buffalo, but I don't remember my first save.
Wow, wow, interesting, very, very interesting. Um, I
But
guess
I
like
think they give me the game, so I can check that if you want.
yeah, yeah, we'll get into that this year. We're gonna bug you all season long. I can promise you that. I'm like a bad rash. I never go away. But talk to us about the cup. You won the Stanley Cup. What every kid dreams of, at least in Canada, at least in America. Is that also for a goaltender growing up? Is it all about the NHL, or is it about the national team? Is it about winning a Stanley Cup?
When you small kid, you always dreaming about the NHL for sure. The NHL is the best league on the world, and then you wanna get there, and then everybody knows it's not easy. And then when you get to the NHL, you start thinking like I'm in the NHL, and then now the dream is the Stanley Cup. And then I am really happy I had the chance to raise the cup. Like you can see some really good players in the NHL. They never win it, and then
Didn't they give it? Did they give it to you like one of the first guys? Wasn't it?
yeah, yeah. We when we win it, like I think Tachuk said, everybody who didn't win last year, the guy's gonna go first. So that was really nice. So Barkov was first, and then after that, the guys who didn't win it, we get the chance touch it first. I was really nice. Yeah.
Wow, what did that feel? And how heavy is that sucker? I've never lifted it or even come close.
I mean that beautiful thing. It's heavy for sure. It is heavy, but it's an amazing feeling. Like I remember just couple things, but when Tomáš Nosek came to me and give it to me, and then I raised that cup over the head. I don't remember my circle. What are you doing with the cup? I don't remember anything. I was just yelling, and then just so happy.
Unreal, unreal. So what'd you do with it? Yeah, did you take it home with you? Did you party with it? I saw some of your Instagram photos and some videos. I mean, it seemed
Yeah.
like crazy. They loved you back home.
Yeah, I just stole the Stanley Cup. Like nobody knows where is it right now. No, like actually, I get it for one day. I bring it to my hometown. It's really small. Everybody was excited, and then like you said, like everybody love it. I didn't expect that many people gonna come because it was Wednesday. Like 5 p.m. at the square of hometown. So I wasn't ready for that. Like that many people came. But it was amazing. Like we started with the family, just pictures, without the drinking, not nice pictures, and then after that, like we had a lot of fun.
Oh, I bet. Yeah, you probably
Yeah.
needed an IV after some of those parties. I'm
Yeah,
sure.
new hands too, probably.
So when you signed, I mean, did Corral? I know you guys. Would you guys play a little bit for the national team together when you guys were younger? Did he reach out? Have you talked to him? What has he told you about Utah?
So we play together national teams, and then when we were really young, when I start goalie like 9 years old, we play versus each other, like all the time because he's really close to my hometown. It's like 40 minutes from my hometown, so we always play together. But when I signed with Utah, I text him, ask him about the Utah, where to live, and then that kind of stuff. And then I saw him one time, so we talk a little bit more, but like nothing special, So I think we're gonna talk more when we both get to the Utah.
Well, you're gonna love it. I can tell you that. Have you been in contact at all with Corey Schwab, the goaltender coach?
Yeah, yeah. So when I was signing with Utah, I talked to him for a little bit, and then when I signed it, like he want to get some videos from the ice. So I sent him some videos. We talking a lot right now, and then he asked me when I'm flying there to practice with him. So yeah, we are in the contact.
Oh, that's good. Well, I know you're going to love it. Last question for me. I know you've been a busy man today, but why number four? Why number 41?
Actually, that is a good question. So I was just in Washington, and then when I start playing my first game, like you asked, they give me number 41, and then everything get through with the 41. So I just keep it, but there is nothing behind. So
Well,
I
all
just
right.
keep the 41, and then playing with the 41.
It's working. It's working. I cannot
It's
watch
working.
to
It's
see it. What,
working.
what about the mask? You got anything? I mean, you got your painter working overtime right now that you obviously signed. You know where you're going to play. The Mammoth has come out. What do you think about the logo?
I mean that logo is sick. It is really nice. Like everybody's saying that like that logo is really nice. Like the Czech people, parents, family, like they saying it's really nice. And then the mask, it's always doing Davart from Sweden, and then we always do something together, and then try to get really good masks. So I order some. So I hope when I see it, I think they are already in Utah. So I'm really excited to see them how they look.
Because that's a thing, right? I mean, that's part of your personality, the stuff that goalies put on their masks. I mean, our sticks, that's all we kind of had, right? The knobbier stick, you put a little
I
thing
know,
on it
yeah.
or whatever, initials of your kids or whatever. But the mask is big.
That mask is big. Like that's why we goalies, they always want to get really nice mask. That's the thing what we can do like a goalies.
Well, that's great. Well, thank you. I appreciate your time. I'll let you go. Again, I can't wait to see you. It's going to be a successful team. You're going to love the teammates. You're going to love the city. It is absolutely breathtaking. So thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much. Appreciate it, guys. Thank you.
See you, boss.
All right.
Wow, how good was that? Didn't disappoint. I mean, he kind of carried the show, Fultz. I got to be honest. This guy can talk. He's got a ton of personality. I think the fans are certainly going to fall in love with him. But what were your thoughts?
I thought he was fantastic. Great personality. Kind of knew that coming in, and remember that clip of him in the Stanley Cup Finals, right across from Stuart Skinner, like getting in Skinner's face, trying to mess with his head a little bit. That's when I knew he was going to be a good personality and a good fit in this Utah room. But how about this, Tyson? There are 9 active Czech goaltenders in the NHL right now. Utah has 2 of them, 2 of the 9. And there's another one, Michael Hrabal, who's a Czech as well. He's playing at UMass right now and has been having a great college career. He could be in the mix sometime soon. But there's something about Utah and these Czech netminders.
Well, yeah, there's something about these Czech goaltenders too. We saw that Karel Vejmelka, and he did talk a lot about growing up as a young kid, right? I mean, Dominik Hasek. I mean, speaking of, he was a platypus. Well, Dominik Hasek was an octopus, right? I mean, this guy was all over the place, arms, legs, flailing around in that blue paint. He was like a fish out of water, certainly, but not a bad role model to grow up, watching, right? Your whole life. For me, it was Grant Fuhr, Andy Moog. But for these European goaltenders, they certainly, have some players to watch that are studs.
Yeah, no doubt. And Vitek's going to be important for Utah this year. Karel Vejmelka took a heavy load last season, and he'll be the number 1 again this year. But they're not playing every game in today's NHL. There's no more Martin Brodeurs who are out there playing 70 games. Vitek is going to be relied upon throughout the season to put Utah in winning situations. So glad he didn't bail out on you too soon there, Nasher. Good work on the solo interview. I can just bug out, huh? I mean, you don't even need me for this.
Well, I wanted you to throw that bucket on over your left shoulder there. It's just dying to be put on. Look at that thing. It looks like my hair right now. It's like an old toupee. That's what I do with my hair piece. I stick it to the wall.
This was given to me after Mammoth Week this summer. Utah lid. This is like a youth helmet.
Nice.
Oh no! Look at that.
Oh, that's got to be a giant helmet.
Maybe
to fit
it's
that
an
head.
adult size.
That's like the
pretty
Great
good.
Gazoo. The Great Gazoo. I love.
How
Where's
about
the
that?
shield though? No earpieces either.
No, yeah, no shield. Yeah, I'm wearing this in my D5 rec league, just eating pucks, baby.
I love it.
This is
I love
great.
it. You're ready to go.
Yeah, I'm liking the way that looks and feels, man. This is use the top of your head. It's the hardest part of your body when you're hitting, right?
Oh yeah. Well, great job as always. Take another show off, would you, Fultz? I mean, my back is sore. I mean, you're just coming in for the grand finale here. The bigger the stage, the more you show up, eh?
Hey, you know me, just riding your coattails, Tyson. Another good episode, my friend.
Yeah, loved it. Feeling good, brother.
We got preseason action coming up again tomorrow. So Thursday, we'll be in Vegas against the Golden Knights of the Fortress. If you're listening to this on Wednesday, we've already played in Anaheim and 2 in Colorado. So we're in the middle of it. We're rolling through training camp and through the preseason. As we go along, Tyson, this roster for these preseason games is going to look more and more like the actual roster. And by the time we get to the final preseason game, It's basically going to be a dress rehearsal for the regular season. So keep tuning into these preseason games, and we'll keep getting you camp insights and great interviews as well, talking to some of these new Mammoth players like we did today with Vitek.
Can't wait, buddy. Bring the noise, brother.